Hello, everybody. This is Joanna Sacco, your mindset mentor. I'm going to just take a second to invite some people to come in here and see if anybody is around. So I love Wednesdays, and it's going to be our question and answer day. I hope you guys will come on in to the group on Wednesdays and post your questions, and then I will come on at night to answer them. So I need to figure out how to do this. Hi, Janelle. Hello. So I have a poll that I'm going to post in here, and you guys will see why that poll. Okay, here it is. It's published now. Janelle, tell me if you see the poll that I just posted. Okay. So I have my phone here so I can read off your questions. But first, I really wanted to tell you guys a story. So I just got out of the gym. I joined a shred challenge. It is incredibly challenging. Like I was shaking. My office is on the third floor of my house, and I couldn't even walk up the stairs to get here. And I was like, I said I was going to do this live video. I got to make my way up to my office so I can do this live video. I can't, not show up. So here I am. But anyway, this will all relate to our business. So stick with me, bear with me. So the shred is so hard, you guys. I've never done anything like this in my life. It is like the diet is insane. It's really challenging. It's like super high protein, and it's like semi low carb, moderate fat. You're probably wondering why I'm talking about this stuff, but it'll make sense to you. And then the workouts are intense. It's like weightlifting and like bear crawls and crab walks and like jumping on giant like monster truck wheels and like rope slams. Like I've never done anything like this in my life. So you're probably wondering why I'm doing this, right? So as many of you guys know, I have 4 kids, and I had those 4 kids in 6 years. So it did a number on my body. Like my back is a mess. My pelvis is like rotated. If you look at it on the x-ray, my curve is like completely in. I have really bad diastasis recti, which means my abs are still very separated. And because of that, I have really bad like back pain. And every day I'm like, I can't walk up these stairs. Like I have sciatica, I have all these issues. So my why for doing this shred is to get my body stronger and to get my abs and my core strong, so that way my back will no longer be freaking out every day, because it affects my every single day life, right? So when I was there today, I was with a new trainer, and he is hardcore, you guys. Like he is like I asked him a question about, oh my gosh, I can't do 20 of these. So he bumped it up to 30. And I was like, I got to stop talking. But anyway, the moral of the story is that even in this workout, I got these rope slams, and it's the last thing that we're doing. And we're like using every single muscle in our body, and we're slamming these ropes. And I'm like, I can't do it. And all these voices in my head are like, I can't do this. I'm not strong. I'm not an athlete. I'm not, like the guy next to me working out. I'm not this. I'm not that. And he, as my coach, was like, yes, you can. It's your mindset. 90% of what you're doing is your mindset. Like that strength is within you, that power is within you. Like my fitness guy is telling me this, and I'm like, oh my gosh, like this is what I do for people with their, with their business and everything all day long. But anyway, what kept me going wasn't that I wanted to lose weight, or that I wanted to fit into a pair of jeans, or that I wanted to, look better. Like that wasn't my why. My why was running away from this pain of every day living in this discomfort with my lower back pain. So how does this relate to what we're doing? And what the poll is that I'm asking you guys is, how big is your why? And why you're doing the business that you're doing. Hello, Celeste. If you guys are in here, say hello. If you're watching the replay, just do #replay. So how big is your why? So I'm going to go ahead and answer questions, but this is something that you guys need to have a big why in. And when I was thinking about the questions that were posted today, it all kind of went back to this, to what is your reason for why you're doing this? And if it's something, like, I want to lose weight and look better, like the equivalent of that, like, oh, maybe I want to just pay a car payment or something like that. When you're like, nobody is coming to my classes, when you're feeling like nobody wants to listen to me teach them, I don't know if I can be successful, all of these things that people are struggling with, it's go back to your why, because chances are your why is not big enough. So your why has to be so strong, and it's usually about running away from pain or running towards pleasure, right? So what is it in your life that's causing you pain or discomfort? And it doesn't have to be, physical pain or like anything like that, but just pain, like, okay, staying up at night worrying about the bills, or staying up at night not knowing how you're going to pay for your kids' college or wedding, or what your retirement will look like, or your elderly parents, or big things like that. So when you have a why that literally keeps you up at night, you're going to be a lot more likely to slam those ropes down and say, you know what, like, yes, people might not be listening to me right now, but I'm going to get creative and I'm going to find a way to do this. And if this isn't working for me, I'm going to do it a different way. And I'm going to do it a different way if that way doesn't work. And I'm going to keep going, because I know that if I keep going, I will get there. So let's go through some of these questions. I hope this is making sense, you guys. Somebody say something if you think I'm just like a crazy workout person here. Hi, Jacqueline. Okay, so Shannon says that, yes, I find something else that needs to be done to avoid doing just about anything that makes me uncomfortable. Just moved to a new area and literally had a ton that needed to be done, and I didn't leave the house the whole time. I know I need to meet people to make relationships in order to introduce them to these amazing oils. There's tons of questions in here. All right, so when we find ourselves making excuses and not doing our business, it's usually because we're not in line with what we're doing, right? And it makes us uncomfortable. And then you have to dig in to what are the reasons that are making us uncomfortable, because we want to live in our little comfortable bubble, right? We want to, do the things that we know and that we're good at and we're competent at and that we are successful at. And if there's like this whole unknown area here, right? Like, and you go into that unknown area and you might not be the successful person anymore, or you might fail, or you might have, some doubts about what you're doing. Do you want to go there? Or do you want to stay at home and, do the things that you're good at? Like, that's what you're going to do. So, hello, Becky. Thanks for saying hi. So, yeah, it's really about understanding the underlying causes of why you're making those excuses. Is it that you don't think that you will succeed in making friends? Is it that you don't think you will succeed at the business? Is it that you don't think the business is your passion? Is it that you don't have faith in yourself? Is it that maybe you're afraid to actually succeed? Because what does that mean for your identity? This is a huge one, you guys. Huge. And we will do a whole live video, because I could talk about fear of success for hours probably. So, but yeah, fear of success, is another big one. So basically, you're making those excuses to not go and do the thing that is uncomfortable, that is unknown, that is gonna maybe make you lose part of your identity, or maybe make you not feel as competent anymore in what you're doing. But guys, that's where the magic happens. You have to do it, right? Like, magic happens outside of our comfort zone. Like, here's your little comfort zone, and here's the magic. They're not together. Comfort zone, magic. What do you want? Do you want to stay in your comfort zone, or do you want, to be successful and to to go after your dreams and have this big, amazing life. So, okay, let's move on to the next question. My mindset struggle is belief in myself that others will actually want to learn from me. So yeah, a lot of us, struggle with that. And where does that come from? Like, how far back in your life does that come from? Because that is a confidence issue, right? Afraid of people's negative opinions. Yes. So this is a big thing that I always say to my clients in my coaching sessions is like, think about the worst case scenario, right? So, and then how will you handle it? Because a lot of times if we don't go through that scenario in our heads, like it sits there and it festers and it like makes itself out to be this unrealistic thing that probably will never happen, when it's a lot usually not as big of a deal as you think that it will be. And if you actually play it through your head, okay, what is the worst case scenario? So, Jackie, if you're on, my mindset struggles belief that others will actually want to learn from me. Okay, so let's say you go somewhere and you talk to somebody about oils or whatever your product is. Sorry, I do oils, so I'm automatically thinking about oils. I know there's people in here who are doing other companies as well. And, they're like, oh, sorry, I'm not interested. I don't really care about that. What does that mean for you? What does that mean? Are you now like scarred for life and you're never going to talk to somebody else because this one person, did not want to learn, or a group of people maybe? Or are you going to just brush it off and move on, right? Because there's so many other people that are waiting to hear from you and that want to learn from you. So a lot of times in this business, we have to grow a thick skin, and like we really do, because we get so emotionally attached to people's answers to us. And a lot of times their answers to us has nothing to do with us. So Jackie, if people don't want to learn from you, 99% of the time, if not more, it has nothing to do with you. Like, that's our ego that wants us to think, oh, if I was better at this, if I was more articulate, if I said it this way, if I said it that way. No, like, don't think like that. You have no idea what's going on in that person's life. You have no idea what their situation is, what their mindset stuff is, what their financial situation is. Maybe it's not about wanting to learn from you, but maybe that they have their own blocks about whatever. And that's okay, because you know what? There are a ton of people that do want to learn from you. And you just have to find them. And you have to keep going. And you have to set forth that confidence. And you have to attract that. So Jackie, your affirmation should be that people are lining up to learn from me because what I have to say can change their lives, right? Or whatever that affirmation can be. And you just change that, and magic will start happening. Like, really, you'll start seeing people that are like waiting to learn from you. All right, let's see. I'm going to read some of the comments. That they will judge me in a way that makes me feel uncomfortable. Becky, yeah, well, and it might, and they might judge you, and it might make you feel uncomfortable. And what's the worst case scenario? You guys, you're going to like have this in your heads. Next time, something comes up, you're going to be like, Joanna would say, what's the worst case scenario? And then you go through it in your head, and it, it plays out, and you're like, wow, that wasn't that bad. Okay, so I feel uncomfortable. And then what? You just move on, right? You move on, you're uncomfortable, and you move on. And next time you're going to feel less uncomfortable because you're going to realize that it's not you. It's not you, it's them. All right, moving on. So Tamina says, I have a few issues. One is I feel like my small town is a popularity contest and most people are not interested in what I have to teach them about oils or what I have to say. Next is I sometimes get overwhelmed because I try posting on my page about doTERRA and my classes and I rarely get a like or interest, and I feel pressure to thrive in my business, and I start asking myself, what is wrong with me? Why is it so hard for me but so easy for everyone else? All right, girl. Oh, and then she says, also another thing is I'm afraid to ask or approach strangers or some people. Maybe it's a fear of regeneration, or I don't know. Okay, so first of all, it's not easy for other people. Whoever tells you it's easy, I don't know. They're lying to you, because network marketing is not Not always easy. It's effort, right? It's skill. You have to learn your skill sets. You have to learn your product. You have to learn your company. You have to learn, you have to do personal development. You have to learn yourself and keep working on your skills. So it's not always easy for everyone else. And again, you have no idea, like the people that it's easy for, you can't compare them. Comparison is the thief of joy, you guys. Okay, if you don't learn anything else from me, learn that comparison is the thief of joy. Say it with me. Say it with me. Comparison is the thief of joy. So stop thinking about what everybody else is doing, because that's going to steal your joy. And if you don't have joy in doing what you're doing, and you just have, like sadness and feeling like maybe like jealousy, or like, oh, why do they have it so easy and I have it so hard? What are you going to keep attracting into your business? Sadness, hardship, people not liking and being interested in the post. So you just have to figure out a different way to do things. Maybe you have to grow your network. Maybe your Facebook or your social media network is just stagnant at this point. Maybe you just need to branch out and find new people. And people are always watching too. Like, this is the thing about social media, is that people might not always like and comment, but they're always watching. So one of the months that I went diamond because all these random people on Facebook ended up enrolling with me. And I was like, whoa, you've never interacted with a single post or anything that I've been posting all this time, and all of a sudden you're joining. Like, okay, so they are watching and they are paying attention. And you just have to have that mindset that it's like, just because people are not interacting doesn't mean that they're not listening, and doesn't mean that they're not hearing you. And if you stay consistent and if you stay positive and you keep doing what you're doing, people will watch that and they will be attracted to that. Because a lot of times with network marketers, you see people popping on all the time, like joining a new company, and they're doing whatever. This company 1 week, this company another week, this company another week. Oh, good, you guys are taking the poll. Yay, take the poll if you see it. And then rewatch, if you guys are popping on, watch my whole spiel about the why in the beginning and why I'm dressed in workout clothes. But yeah, so the longer you stay in it, the more credibility you will have too. So just stick with that. And Tamina, I'm going to be honest with you, girl. I'm hearing a lot of like just negative self-talk and things like just feeling hard for you, right? Like, you're worried about, what people have to say, a popularity contest, feeling overwhelmed, feeling pressure. So why are you doing what you are doing, right? Why are you doing what you are doing? Is it because other people want you to do it? Is it because of, like, what is your why? Go back to that. What is it that you are trying to accomplish with having, an oil business? And is it really in line with what you want, right? So sometimes we do things because we feel like it's the right thing to do, or because everybody else is doing it. But when you really like examine deep down, it might not be for you, or it might be, but you're doing it for the wrong reasons. So if I were you, I would literally just sit down and write out all the things that you want, why you want it, and figure out your why. Like, this is why it's so important to have that why written down. All right, I'm going back to the comments a little bit. Yay, Becky says, comparison is the thief of joy. Becky's the MVP tonight. Yay, Becky. Becky also says, had someone sign up today who has never interacted with my posts and reached out to get an account today. I know it happens. So people are listening and they're paying attention, and you just have to tell yourself, like, people are listening because what I have to say is important, and it can be life-changing, and the right person will get the message at the right person at the right time in their lives too. So that's the other thing, is it's like, you don't know when something will click for them. right? Think about how maybe your mindset was around your company that you joined before. Like for me, you know, obviously I do doTERRA, so essential oils. Like initially I was just like, nope. Like I don't want your snake oils. I don't want your voodoo potions. Like, nope, don't want that. Like I don't want any part of that. So, and then something clicked in my life and in my world, like in my environment, and I was invited at the right time when I was ready. And then the business, I rejected the business for an entire year, and then finally something changed. And if my upline wasn't staying true and being loving and kind and patient and whatever else with me, I never would have done it. So you just have to literally not make it about you, not take it personally, and just keep doing your thing. Just keep doing your thing and trust that if you stay consistent, you will succeed. All right, next. My struggle is that I can actually be successful and that I have what it takes. Charla, I met you in Texas at convention. I don't know if you're in here, but you're amazing. Girl, of course you have what it takes. And you know what? So where's that voice coming from? Where is that voice coming from? Is it from, okay, so let's get deep here. You guys ready? Take a deep breath. We're going to do some deep work here. Okay. You guys with me still? Give me some hearts if you're still with me. So all of these negative things that we hear about, do I have what it takes? Am I good enough? So much of that stems all the way back to our childhood, even our childhood. So think back about when was the first time, if you can identify that, if you can pinpoint it, or even like a time frame or a grade or an event or something where you just felt like you were not good enough, right? Or maybe it was at your first job or at college or, I don't know. You have to try to think about, where you got that belief in the first place that you're not good enough, because chances are it goes back to other things in your life outside of network marketing and outside of the company that you're in. You might be struggling with this in other areas too, not just in network marketing. So pinpoint it, try to uncover it, and then do that deep work that you need to do to work up your confidence, to build your belief in yourself. That is a self-limiting belief, Charla girl. It's a self-limiting belief, and you gotta tell yourself, like, I am good enough. I do have what it takes. And then your brain, right? We talked about this the other day. If you guys watched my video about what does the brain do, it looks to affirm and to make true what we tell it, right? And it looks for things in our environment to make that happen. That's law of attraction. That's the science kind of behind it. So your brain will start giving you evidence of why you are good enough. And you can start small. If it's like really like scary, like, whoa, whoa, I can't do this. Start small. Start, with little things. Book a class if you've never booked a class, or do a Facebook Live if you've never done a Facebook Live. And after you do it, celebrate and be grateful, and look at all the good things that you did. Don't look for all the wrong things that you did, because we all, say the wrong thing, or, afterwards we're like, oh, I wish I said that, or I did that. Don't focus on that. Focus on the good. Focus on the amazing things that you did. Look for the evidence that shows you that you are good enough. This is for all of you guys watching, because I'm sure there's issues with this. I still struggle with this. Am I good enough? Like, ooh, who am I to be, teaching others about mindset when I still, have some of my own blocks about certain things, like my rope slamming, and I can't be strong. I'm not an athlete. I'm not, one of those people, right? So keep taking the actions and keep looking for the evidence that supports the opposite of what you're telling yourself, and magic will happen. Magic. I love it. I love that word, and I love seeing it happen in people. I love when people like finally have those breakthrough aha moments, And usually people cry, right? When we have a big breakthrough. So if you mentor with me, you're probably going to cry, not like bad tears, like good tears, like, oh my gosh, like this is what it was. This is what's holding me back. So, yeah, it's powerful stuff when we really start digging deep into all of the underlying reasons of why we have these self-limiting beliefs, these thoughts about ourselves, why we're stuck or paralyzed. We talked about the why at the beginning of this video. And again, you need to just dream big. So many of us have forgotten how to dream big, and we forgot why we started doing what we're doing. And then, like life comes at us and like these negative things might start happening. Hello, Courtney. And they just knock us down. And then it's like one negative thought comes and another negative thought comes, and then they like compile, and then they're like, it's like a domino effect, right? And a lot of times, like, we just need to break that pattern and go back to the beginning, go back to the why, and think of yourself as a little child. Like, this is something that I tell people all the time. It's like, tell a child that they can't do something and they'll laugh at you, right? But tell an adult they can't do something and they're going to be like, ooh, you're right. Yeah, you're right. Maybe I can't. Like, ooh, am I really smart enough? Am I really good enough? Am I really like motivated enough? Am I this enough? Am I that enough? Why are we always so like concerned with, are we this, whatever, enough? Like, just do it. Just do it. Believe in yourself. Go after that dream. But first you have to like identify it, right? And really get super laser focused. And we will do another live about that, because I love that, the dreaming and the visualization and the vision boards. So that's another session. But it was awesome hanging out with you guys tonight. Thank you for being for answering my questions and for writing the questions in today. Jacqueline says, keep backing out of doing lives, making all the excuses why I just have to do it another time. Yes, girl. Those excuses, we talked about that, right? Why are we making those excuses? Because maybe you haven't done one. Maybe you don't know what people will think. Maybe you might say the wrong thing and look silly. Maybe you'll forget something. Maybe you'll feel uncomfortable, right? Maybe people are like, ooh, what is she all about? Like, who does she think she is doing this? All of these things. And you know what? None of that matters. Just do it. Do it scared. Don't wait for a time when you're not scared, because you're going to be scared, and just do it anyway. And then the more you do those lives, the less scared you get and the easier it becomes. And then you're like just sitting there talking as if you're, in a room full of your best friends, and you just got to do it. So Jacqueline, that is your task. You just got to do it. Tell yourself, set the affirmations that I do Facebook Lives easily. I have fun doing them, and I have a gift to offer others. And that message is important to get out there. And who am I to not get that message out there because I may feel uncomfortable, right? I say this to myself a lot whenever I have blocks. It's like, get out of my own way. Like, I have lives to change. I have like somebody who literally could, die if I don't like tell them about this lifestyle and about these different things. And so I'm not going to let my fears and my discomfort stop me from this gift that I have to give to others. So think about it that way too. Like, Jacqueline, you have a gift to share with people. So go out there and share it. And you're going to feel awesome when you do it. Like, you're going to be scared. Your heart's going to be pumping. You might have sweaty palms, right? You might like think of all the excuses. Oop, got to go wash my toilet. My windows need cleaning, right? No, they don't. They do not. Your laundry will be there tomorrow. I promise you. I have 4 kids. There's always going to be laundry to do. There's always going to be dishes. Like, that can all wait. But you know what can't? The person who needs to listen to you tonight on a live, right? That can't wait, because you never know whose life you could change with your product, with your opportunity, with with you. And there's nobody that can share it the way that you can, Jacqueline, because the people who are in your social media network are there because they were attracted to you, right? So they can relate to you, and they need to hear that message from you. So go and do it. Do it, girl. Do it scared. I always tell people that. Don't wait until you're not scared anymore, because that will never come. Celeste says that her phone fell during her live today. See? And you still did it, right? Were you like, oh man, that's it, never doing another live because my phone fell and now these people probably think I'm I don't know, whatever, right? Like there's so many negative things that we could tell ourselves. And there's these high standards that we set, that we need to be perfect, that we need to be the expert, that we need to know everything, that we need to talk a certain way or look a certain way or fit into a certain mold. And you don't. You just be real. Like when you're doing a Facebook Live, just be real. Like, look at me, you guys. Like, I'm real. I'm sweaty. My arms are still shaking from the gym. My hair is up. Like, got a mess behind me. And I'm here with you guys. And, you know, and sharing this because I feel like it's important. And, you know, like, don't let the mindset that, oh, what are these people going to think about me or whatever. Like, that's really, you know, honestly, none of your business. What people think about you is not really your business because, again, it's probably their own issues, their own blocks, whatever they have going on, that generates those thoughts about you. And so many people project their own things onto us, and it has nothing to do with us. It has completely everything to do with them and their story and their internal stuff that they have going on. So there's so many people, though, that are waiting for you to just step into your power, step into your greatness, and share your product, your opportunity, your passion, your why, and they need to hear it from you. Okay, let's see. Stacy says, same problem here, no matter how many I do. Celeste says, yep, technical difficulties, picked it up and kept going. Stacy says, so true. I have a lady that signed up with me for my videos, even though she has a friend at work that does the same thing. Exactly. Like, you know, so many of us have this excuse that the market is saturated. The market is saturated. Everybody, you know, sells oils. Everybody does Beachbody. Everybody's a LuLaRoe consultant. Everybody does Rodan and Fields. Everybody does this. Everybody does that. Excuses, guys. That's all it is. Excuses. The market is not saturated. It's not. And even if it was, people are going to buy from the person that they relate to. So the more authentic you are, the more real you are, the more relatable you are, the more people you're going to attract, because people are attracted to authenticity and realness. Like, they don't want to see a perfect person up there. They don't want to see somebody that is an expert, because then most people can't, you know, relate to that. It's not duplicatable. Like, they want to see somebody just like them who's like using, you know, this product and having an experience and being real about it. So yeah, that's why that lady, you know, signed up with you, Stacy, and that's awesome. That means you are doing your videos. You're probably scared, right? Were you scared doing your first video or two? I bet you were, but I bet you did it anyway, right? Okay. So, okay, you guys, we're going to leave tonight with an affirmation. Okay, so we're going to leave tonight with an affirmation. And it's going to be based off of a lot of these questions that I got from people from earlier today. So I'm reading the questions again that I answered on here. And it's going to be about your self-worth. Okay? Because so many of us struggle with that. We struggle with our self-worth. We don't think we're worthy. We don't think we're good enough. We don't think we're lovable enough. We don't think we're whatever enough. And if you don't think that about yourself, who are you going to attract into your life, right? Like, you're going to attract people that don't think that either. And you don't want that. You don't want those people in your life. You don't want that. There's enough people that are going to poo-poo on you, like, without you attracting even more of that into your life. So you're going to say, I am worthy and good enough to have everything I've ever wanted. Okay? So say that. This week, you guys, say that affirmation. I am good enough. I am worthy enough to receive and have everything that I have always wanted. And the trick is you got to know what you want, right? So that's why you guys are going to work on your whys. That is so important. You're going to write them out, because people who write down their goals and who write out their visions and, you know, who do all that are so much more likely to achieve and accomplish those goals than people who don't write it down. So that's what we're doing this week here. Okay, guys, thank you so much for joining. I hope you're enjoying the group. Keep adding your friends, because I'm going to be giving away a free mentor session with me. So every time you add a friend, make sure you tag them in that post, the free mentoring post, and I'm going to put all the names into a bucket, and you get an entry for every person that you add into our group. And I'm going to pick a winner, a random winner, to win a free mentoring session. So if you think that you would like to work with me in a one-on-one mentoring session, then go ahead and add your friends. All right, guys, thank you so much. Remember, you are good enough. And remember, you have to tell yourself that. Okay, bye. Have a good night.